So that finally wraps up Matt's season of The Bachelor. This season was pretty much a disaster start to finish. We saw the first, I don't know, over half of the season be derailed by bullying, which transitioned into one of the contestants getting accused of being an escort, to a brief respite, and then into all of the Rachael Kirkconnell racism and racial insensitivity allegations, which turned out to be very much true. And then we get to the end of tonight. Matt is still single. And, what did we just watch? It was a very, very different after the final rose to me. One thing I did appreciate is we didn't have to see Matt and Rachel's breakup. In past seasons where couples have broken up after the final rose, they've had the cameras there, the cameras in their face, and I just hate that. I hate that they have to experience that, go through that. I just don't like it. So I'm glad that wasn't what happened this time around. What we saw from Rachael today in the episode was a little concerning to me. After the final rose, I do believe that she's trying to make changes, but a lot of what she said felt very rehearsed, very scripted, very what she's supposed to say. And, while I do believe that she's taking steps to be a better person, to right some of the ignorances in her life, I wasn't feeling that she's authentically there yet. So I don't know where she will be, if she's going to get there, but, someone who's never viewed a Confederate flag as being a symbol of slavery, never viewed celebrating plantations as, celebrating all those things that the American Civil War ended. And that's not something that just is going to change overnight. Hopefully she does grow, does become a better person, but I think that she's just at the start of that journey, and hopefully she does make improvements in that regard. But just to go back to the actual episode, that moment where Chris Harrison tells Rachael that Matt's not coming for their date, and Rachel's first thought wasn't, is Matt okay? Is everything all right? Her first thought is about her. Her first thought is, I don't even know what I would say right now, which sounded like she was referring to a proposal. I can't believe that he wouldn't come talk to me. No regard for Matt whatsoever. And I think that says a lot about who she really is. We've seen her as kind of the pouty girl this season, and it's worked for her. And I'm going to guess that throughout her whole life, it's worked for her. Even after the final rose, she comes out and says, hey, I don't want to play the victim here, when talking about the allegations. And then later is when she's speaking with Matt, is 100% playing the victim. So I just think that's kind of how she's been for her whole life. And, maybe I'm out of line saying that, but that is how I feel. Michelle, I think Matt and Michelle would have made a great couple. Michelle seems absolutely amazing. He's the exact kind of person that you want in your life, whether that's as a friend, as a coworker, as your life partner. and I think she's going to do amazing as the Bachelorette. And it was very hard to see, watch that breakup between Michelle and Matt, but I think all of us, we knew it was coming. You know, they show us these previews on how things are going down on after the final rose, and you take 2 seconds of that clip that they showed as the preview for the episode, and it tells you Matt picks Rachael, and Michelle, Matt and Michelle break up. So there was no surprises that they broke up. Especially when on top of it, you add in Chris Harrison trying to defend everything with Rachael. You know, he doesn't do that unless she won. He just doesn't do that for the person who got second place. It just doesn't happen. So let's just move on from there. Katie, looks like Katie will be getting a season as the Bachelorette, and it looks like that is going to be what replaces Bachelor in Paradise for this year. And I think that overall is just a good call. They've shown now that they can successfully film a season of The Bachelor or Bachelorette without any issues, but I think that becomes a little trickier with something like Bachelor in Paradise, where you have people coming and going more frequently, and also, we kind of need the Paradise portion as well. So without that, kind of defeats what are we going to do? Bachelor in Wisconsin? Like, it doesn't have the same ring as Bachelor in Paradise at all whatsoever. So I'm going to wrap things up there for me tonight. Overall, not a great season. Was not a good season. Just wasn't. There's no redeeming qualities about this season, and hopefully we can move on and be better with the show, with the behavior, with the contestants, everything, start to finish. The Bachelor, Bachelorette needs to be better, and hopefully they get there, and hopefully the franchise can improve moving into the future. So that's going to wrap things up for me for this season. I will be back this summer for the Bachelorette, and I hope to see you along for the journey with me. So until then, we'll see ya.